Honolulu's only classic rock. Dave Lawrence with you, and grateful you're listening. And today we welcome a very special guest who sort of completes the circle. We've strongly supported Heart's Jupiter's Darling CD since before its release, giving it away, and we had the great Ann Wilson on in July as my guest for one of the more memorable interviews of this year. She's an amazingly talented woman, and now it's a huge honor to welcome, for her first appearance ever on KPOI 105.9, The Big Kahuna, and sister, guitarist, vocalist, songwriter, and producer, the extraordinarily talented and magical Nancy Wilson. Aloha, Nancy.
Aloha. Wow, that's a beautiful introduction. Thank you.
You're quite welcome. You're a beautiful person, and it is humbling to finally speak with you. I've been a fan for several decades. Thank you so much for taking time.
I'd also like to thank you right back for playing, supporting the new album and playing the songs you've been playing on the radio.
Very supportive of Jupiter's Darling right from the beginning.
Yeah, it's so wonderful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You know, it's all about people and connections between people. It doesn't ever change, so thank you.
You're quite welcome, and it's a big congratulations that you deserve for Jupiter's Darling, which you co-produced with bandmate Craig Bartok.
Yeah, I brought him in to produce since we'd actually been sort of discovered each other writing some of the songs, and he really became quite a player in the whole project. And then he came on the road with us and played lead guitar.
And is part of the band in a big way. Now, he joined after the Alive in Seattle.
Right.
So how did you end up getting him involved?
Well, actually, I met him in L.A. because I'm working in L.A. quite a bit, even though we are from Seattle originally. But I've spent a lot of time in L.A. right now because I'm working on Cameron Crowe, my husband's movie, and doing score music for that. And so we're kind of here shooting and getting ready to do the score, and we've got kids, so we're camping out of LA right now. And so during the writing, I'd heard about Craig Bartok, and he's sort of a great song guy and a great. I'd met with some other guys that weren't exactly my cup of tea, But when I met Craig, we just hit it off. We're right out of the same generation. We have all the same context for, songs we grew up with and stuff that really affected us. And he has the same kind of taste, and we really hit it off and started writing. And then Ann came in and wrote with us, and it was just really kind of a love fest by the end.
And the songs, when I first was examining Jupiter's Darling and Oldest Story in the World and The Perfect Goodbye were the first two that we started with, I was looking through the packaging, and when you open it up, there's like a message on the inside of the front sleeve, explaining Jupiter's Darling and the story of it, and is there sort of a very loose concept lyrically or something that sort of connects things? I get that feeling.
Yeah, a band who calls itself Heart. We've always been writing about love, basically, and I know it sounds a little old-fashioned, but that's something that doesn't really ever go out of style. It's more relevant issue today than it's ever been, facing what we're facing. As a country and as a global community, so we take sort of a bird's eye view of what's happening in the world on the album, and a philosopher's eye view about what to do about it.
Yeah, that's sort of, because there's a lot of different themes, and I've gone through over and over with all the different songs and spent time in a lot of relationship-based songs, as you indicated, and many of them not the most uplifting of songs, and we'll talk about that in a moment. But
there's a few strange ones. It's a real journey, this album.
It sure is, and as a fan, it's sort of a journey that you go on with it. You must feel, Nancy, so personally connected to Jupiter's Darling. You co-produced it. You have primary writing credit on most of the songs. You did the album design. You took pictures for it. You did the string arrangements. I mean, it's like, it's your baby.
Oh, it's true. I mean, when Ann and I had both been involved in a lot of acoustic-type stuff in the years between when we were starting our families, and we had the Love Mongers band, and we put a couple albums out with them, and a Christmas album, actually, that's coming out again with some new songs re-released this year. And we felt like it would really be fun to just sort of put our toe back in the water and go out for a summer tour and crank it up, crank up the volume and really rock again. So we tried it, and that became Alive in America, which turned into the DVD and everything. And it just started snowballing because it felt really good, and Anne's just never been in better form as a singer. I mean, I think her best form because, during the 80s, it was other people's songs that everybody had to do, and so I just got the bit in my teeth, and I just said, let's write an album. Let's, if Heart's ever going to be noted for anything historically, let's not have it be something we didn't do all on our own. So, let's give it another college try and make an album like we used to make it in the very beginning, which was all about, completely controlled by us. So we did it out of pocket, we did it sort of cheaply, guerrilla style, and but it felt really good to sort of come back as a force,
You knocked it out of the park, Nancy.
Oh,
I mean,
thank you.
This is such an amazing record, and what you've just said about it is such. I mean, you really did. Because when I listened to it, what you just said, it has that organic feel, like you guys really wanted to do something that would stand on your own, and I think you certainly did come up with a magical package.
There's also a thing that's happening nowadays in music which is kind of encouraging because so much of it is a little bit programmed and force-fed, and I think that's a lot about what downloading is. All the downloading stuff. Nobody feels personally connected anymore to their music, or especially to like a body of work, like a whole album. They'll just download a song or here or there, So for us to, in a time when a lot of bands go out and they don't really play or sing live, we wanted to make an album that was really authentic, that felt like a live rock band playing in the studio, just the way the Indians used to do it, actually singing and playing. And it was just, it's sort of become something really unusual now in contrast to what's out there to a large degree. And the authenticity of it, I think, really carries it.
And it hits home with people. Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. It's very authentic sounding. And
like, what would a Heart fan really want,
That's great. That's how you thought of it, huh?
Yeah, from a fan's perspective, you can always, that's what I kept in my mind the entire time making the album, was like, what would a Heart fan want? Well, a Heart fan would want an acoustic intro to the first song on the album.
Crazy on You style.
Yeah, and they'd probably want Nancy to sing a couple more songs than usual, and they'd want some real rockers, and they'd want some stuff with a sense of humor, and some really relevant stuff, and some really romantic stuff. And I think we were going to have 12 songs on the album, but a lot of these songs just couldn't do without each other, in the sequence.
They do sort of, there is that relationship between songs, which is maybe why I initially, when looking at the record, drew some sort of connection between it, especially with the message on the inside of the sleeve, not really attached to a song, but just sort of a message on its own.
It feels like a real rock album. It's a piece,
It is, and some of the lyrics are so heavy. Ann and I talked about some of the ones that obviously there's a couple, like Enough, I believe, was one that
she wrote all those.
Yeah, that she had really heavy revelations here on the air regarding, and the one that I've been connecting with my over the last several weeks, I guess it's been, or the last couple months maybe even, is I Need the Rain.
Thank you.
And you're welcome. It's like it's so catchy, but some of the lyrics in here, because I look at you, and again, this is Nancy Wilson of Heart, my guest here on the Workforce Afternoon, and when I look at you from the outside, Nancy, as I said when I introduced you, you seem like a very magical person who's living a very a very healthy and happy life. And when because I know a little bit about your life and your husband and your children and stuff, and talking to you is just like everyone said. I mean, you're just as perfect as everyone said you would be on the air.
Oh, that's all.
But I listened to "I Need the Rain." Okay, and here's some words. I just want to pull these out of the tune and see how this relates to your life. I've been running away. Don't you know I need the rain to hide my tears, to cover me, wash me clear. I'm in my cloud. I'm not here. No killing sun to know where I go. And to me, as powerful and as catchy as that song is, it just clashes with the vision of Nancy Wilson that I have. Like, what's going on here?
Well, when you're a human person, on the planet, I think you're not able to really experience the highest of the highs unless you also know the blue lows, And that song is a little bit like feeling like a misfit, even if you are like the most optimistic and romantic, not a Pollyanna, not a naive person, but, somebody who believes in the Bible of love, in a more natural sense. And it can be really disappointing and disheartening to be in this world with an attitude like that, because it doesn't pay to be a romantic. It pays to be an asshole. And so that's sort of what that song's about. It's like, so once in a while you have those times when you just like, I just want to go to the beach and hide and listen to the rain and not even try,
You are a romantic
then.
then.
I feel. It's a romantic, and it's also like the killing sun line that's also like about the harsh, glaring public eye, not just the sun, literally.
Yeah, I thought it was like a metaphor.
Yeah.
And it's incredible just to hear you describe it like that. So you see yourself as a romantic?
Oh, completely.
A hopeless romantic?
Yeah, pretty hopeless.
Yeah, it's no wonder it's so
and
easy.
I've been in love for many years with Cameron, and he's the same way. I mean, look at his work. He's got really quality writing, story writing, and directing, and musical movies that usually you come away a little richer when you see what he presents.
Sure.
And that's sort of what we're put here to do is to kind of live for love, and for the good things.
You have a remarkable attitude. I'm sure people love
well,
listening.
Well, it's not an easy one to.
Well, maybe
it's not easy to be taken seriously, I guess.
And I can imagine so. It just is. It shows how the depth of you as a person, I guess, because you do have a happy life. You sound like you're really happy. You're with this guy that you love dearly, and you've made a family. Yet you can write a song like "I Need the Rain," which is a very, very intimate and heavy song.
Yeah.
And how about "Make Me," which is the one that's like the current single from the record. We've been pounding that, playing it a whole bunch. Who wrote those lyrics?
Well, actually, Craig had the title "Make Me," which I thought was really cool. And his idea starting out was, make me this or make me that, but just make me something. And I thought, that is just exactly what so many women go through in relationships where, somebody will be dangling that relationship, the golden carrot of love, and, but I'm not ready to commit, and all that stuff. And it's so kind of age-old and classic relationship, story that I just thought, let's just go really basic with it and tell the story of what I and probably every woman has been through at least once.
It's a killer tune, and I mean, guys, I think, can somehow reverse it and have just as much of a...
Oh, it happens on both sides of the gender, that's for sure.
So it was Craig who came up with the title, but in terms of the body of lyrics...
Yeah, I wrote the lyrics mostly for that.
I need a place to lay my head, take you wine onto my tongue, pick me up and shake me down. I need your heart to hear my song. That is, and Anne, the way she sings that part too.
I know.
It's like blood curdling.
She just kills on that song.
Yeah, she nails that part of it.
It's
though.
like as a producer, having Ann Wilson in the studio, it was just like, oh my God, I get to produce Anne, and it's like having a Stradivarius, you know what I mean? And someone who knows how to really play it. She's just an amazing singer, and
She nails that one. And
Yeah.
Nance, how about if I play Make Me right now, and then we'll come back and talk some more. Is that okay?
Awesome. By the way, thank you for playing the song.
You're quite welcome. The legendary Nancy Wilson of Heart as my guest on the Workforce Afternoon. This is the latest from Heart's Jupiter's Darling. It's a current classic, Make Me, the song we've been talking about, on K-Boy 105.9, the Big Kahuna, Honolulu's only classic rock. K-Boy 105.9, the Big Kahuna, Honolulu's only classic rock, the Workforce Afternoon, the current classic Make Me from Heart's Jupiter's Darling CD. It's in stores now. And the great Nancy Wilson is my guest. It's a real honor, Nancy. Thank you again.
Thank you.
And was this past summer the first time that you were playing the Jupiter's Darling stuff live?
Well, there's a song called Lost Angel, and also The Perfect Goodbye were already written before last summer. We spent about a year and a half writing the songs before we stepped into a studio with it. So yeah, last summer we had a couple of the new songs live, and a big response to both of those. And we actually were, having the luxury of being able to play songs, which never happens before you record it. We actually, rearranged a little bit for the album from the versions we were playing live.
So folks in the summer of 2003 were able to hear The Perfect Goodbye in sort of an infancy form or something.
Exactly. Yeah, it had a double chorus at the end, which is now single, and the bridge got extended on the album.
That's cool when you can fine-tune stuff, and also I think hardcore fans appreciate getting to see something before it hits the record.
Yeah, and we got really excited because people were mentioning the new songs by name whenever we'd meet them. They really like the new songs. It sounds really familiar, which is a good compliment.
Yeah.
It's the character of the band. It's the authentic character of the band. And it's a lot of bands from our era that are going out on these summer tours that don't really have much new stuff. They're just sort of going out at like jukeboxes, So we got really encouraged by the response, and it just fueled the flame.
Plus, for someone like you who said earlier that you were trying to so super serve your audience, to hear them say that is an indication that you're heading in the right direction.
Totally. It was, it just lit the fire under me even more to get the album done, to really go for it. And, we really had a series of really good luck making the album, because we had friends in L.A., friends in Seattle that said, you can just use our studio for free for 2 weeks. Here and 2 weeks there, and 2 weeks to mix, and pretty much, all we had to do was cover some basic costs and the mastering costs. So it wasn't completely cheap, but we really got a windfall making the album. It was almost like, karma was saying, okay, go, do it.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool, karma. I'm glad you think of it in that way.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure you're only trying to give out what you want to get back.
Exactly.
I check out your heart-music.com website pretty often, and in the section of tour photos, are those photos from this past summer tour?
They should be. I haven't been on the website since we were on tour. I know that they're kind of revamping right now a little bit, so I hope they put a lot of the new stuff up there, but they probably did.
There's a great shot, a couple of them, and it appears to be a cameo or two from other celebrities in some of these, including what looks to be Bono from U2.
Oh yeah, Bono came to Dublin when we were there in Europe before we went to the States. It was our first show of the tour this summer, and he's a buddy of mine, and he was in town, and he found out we were there, and he showed up at the end of our show and had a beer with us. I got to introduce him to everybody. And
wow.
He's just one of the greatest guys. I mean, as you can imagine, he's everything you would think he'd be.
He's really down to earth and a nice guy.
Oh, yeah.
That's amazing. A friend of yours.
Super smart, too.
You count him as a friend?
Oh, yeah. We've partied in Vegas.
Damn. That is cool. That's huge to know.
Bono's really stellar.
Well, if you're ever talking to him in the near future and you want to get him a good interviewer out in Honolulu for a quick thing on the radio.
Yeah.
Don't forget your buddy Dave Lawrence.
Have you heard the new stuff? I haven't heard it yet, but I keep hearing it's awesome.
The Vertigo song
Yeah?
is we've been pounding that and playing that a lot.
You love it?
And I'm into it. I like it.
Oh, yeah.
It's very catchy. It gives me, I don't know, it reminds me of like I Will Follow or something. It has a real
Nice.
early kind of sound, but yet it's real heavy.
I really loved Elevation.
That was a great one.
Really a cool album.
That's cool. That's nice that you're tight with him. I know that you're happily married and everything, but you got to know you look awesome in that shot with Bono.
Thank you. Oh, great.
I'd be remiss if I didn't remind you of that.
Well, I mean, rock and roll is no easy gig. I mean, there's the traveling and everything. You have to try to be pretty sensible with your health, especially when you're not in your 20s.
You're obviously, I mean, it's an after show shot too, so
Yeah.
you look like have that after show quality to you, but it's an exceptional
Hello.
picture of you. You
I'm
should
going
be
to get on the website and check it out.
yeah, you should be quite proud of that. I was like,
Cool.
man, look at Nancy in that.
Oh, that's nice.
For sure. And is there any other big name talent that dropped by to hang out with you guys that we can give a plug to?
Let's see, who else came around? Well, Jerry Cantrell from Alice in Chains got up with us.
Who's on the record?
Yeah, he's also on the record, and Mike McCready came up last summer.
From Pearl Jam.
It was a Pearl Jam, and who else? I'm probably not thinking of somebody. Bono showed up. That was pretty big.
But you had those cats from the Pearl Jam thing come by, and
Yeah.
from the Seattle scene essentially.
The Seattle scene.
But no older big name rockers of the Bono
Of the Bono
ilk.
level. Not so far.
And Nance, you're good on time, right?
Oh, yeah, I'm fine.
Cool. Awesome. So you're not just half of the Ann and Nancy dynasty. You're also in, as we've mentioned a little bit in this, you're part of the Nancy and Cameron dynasty with multi-talented writer and film dude Cameron Crowe. Is it tough with both of you so successful?
Well, yeah, honestly, it's pretty tough as far as, scheduling in our two careers. We have, 2 families in 2 cities, 2 careers, and 2 kids. And only 1 dog right now. 2 dogs soon. There's something about 2, I don't know. But this summer was the first time he was in production, filming his movie while we were on the road. And the kids stayed in L.A. with Daddy for the most part, came and visited me a little bit on the road. Usually they're with me the whole time, and he's able to come visit. So it was very lonely on the on the tour bus, not having the kids there. But I did have my dog, who, he's the other kid anyway.
What kind of dog?
A Springer Spaniel.
What's the name?
His name is Charlie.
Charlie.
Yeah, he's the best tour dog.
How did you and Cameron meet?
Well, actually, back in 82, when we first met, we were put together by friends. It was like a matchmaking kind of thing. Kelly Curtis, who is Pearl Jam's manager still, who was one of my still is my oldest, dearest friend, and Cameron's then roommate, Neil Preston, who was the rock photographer that used to tour with Cameron as the writer-photographer when they went out on all the Rolling Stone assignments and, toured with Led Zeppelin and all those amazing bands from then.
Yeah.
They were roommates, and Kelly and Neil met each other and said, Cameron and Nancy have to meet. They're gonna fall in love and get married. And so me and Cameron resisted it. I resisted it, he resisted it for quite a while, for months, and we were like, come on, you guys, get over it. This isn't going to work. It's too much pressure. And, we finally were kind of roped into something that everybody made us do, and it was like, oh my God, these guys are so right. And he's just one of the funniest, Cameron is one of the funniest soulful guys. With all of the music, that I grew up with, he knew stuff that I never imagined a guy would have known. He's a collector, so he's been devouring, he knows more about music really than I do.
He's a noted rock historian.
Yeah, and he's still turns me on to all kinds of new, cool stuff that's, he always gets Paste magazine and checks out the Paste CD, and he's always discovering the cool new stuff that he uses in his movies, and he's really inspiring, to everyone that works with him.
And never too much ego in the room, I guess. I mean, I was going to ask you that, and then after spending this time talking to you, I mean, you just sound so unbelievably down to earth. I guess I could see how that wouldn't be a problem. But just like when I remember the one time that I had someone else who was like in my business in my life, that's sort of what I felt like. It was tricky to navigate, because there was like almost two people in show business can be tricky.
Yeah, well, I think we've defied all the laws of show business couples. I mean, I think it's partially because, well, mainly because we're truly in love, and we've weathered a lot of storms, but we stayed together. But the other thing is having, humor and music. Music is a wonderful place to go, and it allows you to kind of, I don't know, escape some of the surlier aspects of reality. When you can, music is kind of universal. It's sort of, it's a great healing thing, and it's bigger than all of us. It's part of the love religion, if you want to put it in a hippie term.
The love religion. Man, listen to you. Wow,
I'm just an old hippie. I'm an old flower girl.
You totally are, though. I mean, you're my buddy Carter Allen from WZLX in Boston. He was with WBCN there for a long time. He's interviewed you before and spent time with you through the years at different things, and he was telling me all about what you would be like to talk to. And you were exactly like that. You are like a total hippie girl.
Yeah, well, it's not from a naive place, which it was more in the late 60s when I was, really wearing the flowers in my hair.
No, it sounds like it's in a mature. I don't mean it in any sort of derogatory. It's really a compliment to you.
I've just, when you get a little older and you see what's important, it's not a popular way to be, but I think there needs to be more people that, have a clue about just being good to people and not being innocent about it, just being real and being good to people. That's
a great way to be, Nancy, and I think it's awesome. I mean, it's the way people think of you. So, what are your kids' names?
Billy James Crow, and Curtis, named after Kelly Curtis. Curtis Wilson Crow.
Nice.
Yeah.
Dig that. And they're twins, correct?
They're twins. But they're paternal and they're not identical.
Okay.
So. Yeah, they have distinct personalities. They're very different from each other, which I love. One is very much, looks a lot like Cameron and is just kind of a brainiac, interior kind of guy, but Billy is more like a Wilson. He's really kind of demonstrative and physical and strong and loud.
How old are they?
4.5.
Man, they're real kids then. Still.
They're real boys, yeah.
Have you guys?
They wear everyone out.
I bet they do.
All day long.
At that age. Have you guys done a family vacation ever to Oahu? Or to Hawaii, anywhere here?
That's something we're going to do. We're going to do that. We've been really, working on projects pretty nonstop since before they were born. And as soon as Elizabethtown, Cameron's movie's done, we're going to take a little time and definitely go to Oahu.
Dude, what am I doing calling you dude?
You can call me dude.
You got to look me up, Nancy. You got to be on the show. If you guys come out here,
we'll come by the station and play some songs.
I'll let you guest DJ. You can break out all the things you want to say, and you can take over the show. How many times have you been here?
Only like twice.
For gigs?
For the years, yeah.
And you played with the Beach Boys?
We played with the Beach Boys, and I think we played with the Eagles once.
What's your connection, Wilson-wise, to the Beach Boys? Is there something?
There actually is no connection.
None at all?
Yeah.
Because everyone was like, why were they on the same bill with the Beach Boys? Is that a Wilson?
I know, it's very confusing, because there's brothers, and then there's the Wilson Phillips,
Yeah.
People always, which Wilsons are you? Well, we're the other ones.
Yeah, no doubt.
Have you checked out Brian Wilson Presents Smile yet?
The new record that he has?
Yeah. Smile is the album that he did after Pet Sounds that never happened because he sort of went insane trying to get people to, understand it. And they finally went back with some amazing musicians, one of whom, the keyboard player Darian, was in our band summer before. Anyway, they redid Smile, and they put all the pieces together, and they finally released it after all these years. It's called Brian Wilson Presents Smile.
I have not checked that out, but on your recommendation, I certainly will.
You gotta check it out. It's like nothing else, and it has good vibrations at the end with alternate lyrics. There are some of the songs that are familiar that came out kind of dribbled out on different Beach Boys albums, but Smile is finally finished.
New recordings of old music.
And they put it together like in 3 movements. It's just, you got to check it out.
I definitely will. I would never not take some advice that you give me. And Nancy, just a thought: either a one-off Heart gig here in Honolulu, because if I didn't say that, my fans would be angry.
Or a hootenanny.
Yeah.
At the station.
Or just come by and you're on your vacation. We work out a convenient afternoon.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Maybe
sounds
even
like just what the doctor ordered.
Yeah, and maybe we can even do it for a charity or a cause, or raise awareness for something. Or you and Ann, you could bring your sister. The two of you could just play some acoustics and hang out.
Oh yeah, that does sound fun.
Would you guys ever vacation together, or no? She would be doing her own.
Yeah, we would, because when the kids can all get together and do stuff like that, it's just extra fun.
I'm hoping I'm seeding something here.
Yeah, I think that's a good plan.
And as I end this with you, is this just to get pointers from someone whose career I've admired forever? Was this an okay interview, Nancy?
This was an awesome interview, I gotta say. Thank you so much.
You're the best, Nancy. I don't believe how easy it is to talk to you. I had a girlfriend named Nancy, too.
I've been in Hawaii just talking to you, because you've got such a great, relaxed way.
Say that one more time?
I feel like I've almost been to Hawaii now today, because you have such a great, relaxed way, like it is to be there.
Oh, yeah. You rule. Thanks. That's awesome.
You're somebody that knows about the music, and it's not like you're just like, yeah, so what have you been doing for the last 10 years? Which is the most frequently asked question. The last, year.
Good.
But, thank you. I really enjoyed talking with you.
Oh, that makes me feel so good. And thank you so much to the legendary Nancy Wilson of Heart for being my guest, and certainly making one of my dreams come true to finally get to speak to her. Jupiter's Darling is out now. It's in stores. Get it new and support classic rock. And please know, Nancy, it has been a huge thrill to have you, and to have you be such a kind and friendly guest, just like your sister, here on KPOA 105.9 The Big Kahuna. A big mahalo.
Dude, my pleasure. Mahalo.
Please give Ann my warmest regards, and I hope I see both of you out here sometime soon.
I shall. Thank you. Well, Dave, really great talking to you again.
Yeah, thank you so much.
I hope now I've got now I have to come there. It's like, sounds so great.
Yeah, you got an in,
Yeah.
You got a friend at the radio station. And I'm count on, the record's getting a ton of support out here, and I really do appreciate your time. You're a great person. Stay down to earth forever.
Oh, thank you. I'll talk to you later on.
Yes, I hope so. Aloha, Nancy.
Aloha. Hi, this is Nancy Wilson from Heart, and you are in good hands with Dave Lawrence right now.